A lot of people first learned how small tables can be in their school cafeterias. It's not that the actual tables were too small, it's more about how small the welcome was from the people already sitting at the tables. Did you ever try and sit at an open space at a table only to be treated colder than your carton of milk? No one says hello. No one asks what your name is, and everyone is working hard to avoid eye contact. It can make you feel cramped, closed in, and many have packed up and moved due to the discomfort of being unwelcomed. And then there are those who do welcome you to the table. They make space so you can move closer to the group. They bring you up to speed on the conversation so you don't feel like an outsider. They behave in ways to show you that you are welcome. In this life, we play both roles. We have chances to welcome people to sit with us and chances to be welcomed. Those with a welcoming mindset make their table bigger. Those with a rejecting mindset make their table smaller. Jesus is always finding ways to make his table bigger. He has proven his willingness to move things around and go against tradition even to welcome people to sit with him. In a number of places in the gospel, Jesus was spotted and ridiculed for dining with outcasts, those people who the good religious people knew not to associate with. Once, Jesus was eating at a tax collector's house named Matthew. Now, in scripture, tax collectors are some of the most repugnant folks in Jewish society for how they partnered with the Roman government to financially extort their own people. And here Jesus is eating with them. So some Jewish religious leaders confront Jesus' disciples. Why does your teacher eat with tax collectors and sinners? You see, when it comes to Jesus, the problem isn't that his table is too small. For many, it's too big. At times, I think some Christians would be more comfortable with a mean Jesus, a Messiah with a scowl, who goes around cursing sinners, beating prostitutes, neglecting outcasts, and condemning the bad people of society to hell, all the while draped in a silk robe, sporting flashy jewelry, and riding around with the religious elite, gathering public worship like coins. This is a version of Jesus that suits those who think they are good and who believe they are on Jesus's good side, unlike the sinners of the world who deserve punishment. But what happens when Jesus is eating lamb and drinking wine with those sinners? If we are honest with ourselves, the size of Jesus's table makes us all a little uncomfortable. Can't we all think of sinners, some by name, who we wouldn't want to see Jesus having dinner with? Lord, don't you know the harm they've caused? Haven't you seen the lives they wounded? And now you're sharing a table with them? Jesus, I gotta tell you, that doesn't make me too comfortable. To any who feel that Jesus' table should not be expanded to include sinners, he says, those who are well have no need of a physician, but those who are sick. I have not come to call the righteous, but the sinners. Jesus welcomes sinners to sit with him at his table because he knows they need a welcome, a washing, healing, forgiveness, a seat to take a load off, a place to be nourished, so he makes room for them. And these recipients of grace are okay with making the table bigger because they know others need healing, and they remember when the Lord and the Lord's people expanded the table for them. But then there are those, like the religious leaders, who stand embarrassed that Jesus associates with sinners, that his table is so big. Today, This can look like people being disgusted that certain sinners believe Jesus associates with them. They think and sometimes say Jesus would never be seen with such people. But he has, he is, and he will welcome any sinner, any heathen, any human being who accepts his invitation to healing. My friends, here's a question for us all to ponder. Are we sitting at Jesus' ever-growing table where grace abounds? Or are we standing and judging all the sinners who are? Peace.